the state trooper was Carl Barton and said, "This is how we run you. This is the fourth tape today." And I hope you listen to the end of it. It's what's been done to me and my children right here in front of the whole country, here in plain sight with them knowing it. And they participated in it. So this is Carl Barton. I mentioned him on the other three tapes. His wife brought me down off Roanoke Mountain, where it was. I was on the park, national park, and it's camping, and you pay, and I was paid, and all. I keep saying that because I have not committed a crime. They've been done moment by moment on a daily basis to me, and God knows where my sons are, Mark and Scott. But it's who we are, and I've put that up, so I don't know if I have room on this one to try to give you background. I'm not sure this is doing any good anyway. The media all knows that before you can do anything, you've got to get the media's attention. And in my case, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, the Windsors that are kin to me, who helped commit the crimes and put me over in this country, God-forsaken country, are a part of the mess, and they control the media. All you had to do was watch yesterday of what's going on in Baltimore and Ferguson and all that. They're tearing up the police is what they're doing. Now, the police were in on what was done to me, and so were the blacks. Martin Luther King partnered with Joe Kennedy, with JFK before he was shot. The whole deal was they kidnapped me and took down my father and changed history is what they did. Put me over here, stole my identity. I didn't find out until 83 after I was flown out to Larry Flint's. I'd written a medical malpractice book and had antifreeze put in me, and this is just an ongoing hell and saga done to me in plain sight. I found out in 83 my real name and about my father, and was really married to American. My mother's Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, Windsor. And history does not record that. It records an illegal, well, it doesn't record that. My father, it was an illegal forced takedown. He was married to my mom, not this whore, Wallace Simpson, married a double. And my own uncle helped take him down and kidnap me. So with Roosevelt there in 39, the year I was born. And this is the double that married Wallace. This is my father. And this is me where they dropped me off when they kidnapped me in 41. And by the way, Joe Kennedy was appointed ambassador to England by Roosevelt during this time. JFK and his older son, Joe, flew in and actually stayed at the embassy and spoke before Parliament. Who do you think helped kidnap me and fly me into Cortland Air Base and put me here? The Freemasons, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and the lovely Windsor. Her mother was a Rothschild. This is me. That's that family in Lina. They gave me the name of a twin that was murdered, Carl and Peggy, and I've shown their IDs. It were actually marked through the birth dates because it didn't coincide with the dates they gave me when they kidnapped me and brought me over here. And on the birth certificate it says you can't do that. It makes it illegal. And yet the whole thing is nobody's going to touch it. I'm just about dead. Anyway, I want to go back to, I'm allergic to chemicals, toxic. I should have been able to live anywhere. What they've done, and I'm going to quote Terry Sawyer on this. I thought he was my friend. He's the only one I got shut down to where I had nobody to call but him, and One is U.S. Marshal Robert, and one that's Nathan. I'm going to go ahead and put the names up here. Nathan Boyle, because all three show up in the murders that just happened. The Sawyer, the twin that supposedly committed suicide. No, he didn't. It's murder by mind control. It's what I've been talking about on these videos that I've put up and everything. The book that I wrote about Larry, well, I mean, it involved Larry Flint being shot there in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and his attorney killed. And they took his power of attorney away from him. He got it back, but they put him in prison in North Carolina. But here's where Frida Barton, she's kin to the state trooper that I put up his name, that his wife actually told me, this is how we run you with chemicals where I live, toxic, and you start telling that, and they can, in what's happened to me, I can't get an attorney, they can lock you up and haul you off to a mental, and you can be forgotten. Believe me, it's gone that far a long time ago. But this is Frida Barton, and what got her and what they had on her was her daughter. She had a daughter out of wedlock, and he was a sheriff over in Bedford County. And she approached me. I had no background on her, but she said she was going to help me because I was living out in the forest, okay, looking like a bum, and everybody knew it. This is just typical. This was Rena Apartments, Augusta Avenue, Vinton. When she took me over there pretending to be nice, I found out she already knew about it. She knew the owner, West. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and put this. West, well, no, I won't either. I won't. But anyway, I paid, I've got that down here, I think. I paid, but this is typical of all of them. This is, this one he only leased by the month. It was all orchestrated before I ever got there. And I paid $575. This is Gene West is his name. And, when I've put up, you should see the others if you ever go back and read some of what they did to me. They get mad at me for putting it up on YouTube. I can't get an attorney to sue them or stop it. This was a deposit $425, which I lost because I was so sick. The day that she took me over there and he rented it to me, the day I moved in and had paid a month's rent and deposit, the air conditioning goes out and starts putting out fumes you wouldn't believe. And I can keep going on it. It's been deliberate. And this has been the problem with all of it. They've got so many people involved in it, and Terry's involved in it because he's the one, he's with law enforcement, and he's the one that's gone ahead of all these places that I've been, and I can't get a place anywhere else. So right at the moment, I don't have anywhere to go. I got to leave here if I can get out of here. I can't afford it, but I'm so sick I can't stand it. So where do I go? I just came back from the forest. But anyway, they've kept my deposits. And if you go back to Edinburgh, if you go back, these are low income. They're federally funded and should be prosecuted. The managers who went along with it, the maintenance who, and I was told in a couple of the places that they didn't even know if the maintenance was qualified to mess around with the air conditioning and the toxic fumes that come out of it and just about kill me. So they had my rooms or apartment rigged before I ever got there. And one of them was Bedford. It was Joseph Stream Apartments. Their HUD. They were owned by Reverend Moore out of Washington, North Carolina. He has a whole bunch of these over in Virginia and I think in North Carolina. And so he's been compromised. In fact, I found out later, and you have to get Brenda, what's her name, Brenda Ellis's manager. By the way, she's kept her job. She should be locked up till you get these people before court under oath they're not going to tell the truth. But when they do, if it ever happens, it'll shock people how easy it is to get them to commit a crime or crimes. But anyway, Reverend Moore, what they did to me there is so hideous. And then it makes me look bad when I have to leave and break a lease. And I tell that it's the fumes. Well, nobody